Hey guys, happy Saturday to everybody. Brandy is over here filling in for Krista, who is out at Emmaus Village right now.
Yes.
Thank you, Brandy,
Yes.
for filling in tonight. Appreciate you coming on.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. I something ended up happening where I couldn't go to Emmaus Village and you're sick, so you couldn't go to
Hmm.
Emmaus Village. And so here we are.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it sucks. This was, for me at least, this was my first time with Haunted Souls to go out on an investigation in an event. And here I come up sick and everything. Like I can't go. Well, this was last night. I was still not feeling great last night. I woke up this morning feeling halfway decent, and they're like, "Why don't you come on out tonight?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've been laying around for 3 days. I'm not up for it. I don't think so." And probably not a good idea to go out ghost hunting when you're not feeling the greatest. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. That's one thing you should never do.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that you and Krista have always told me. If you're not 100%, don't do it. So
Yeah.
I listen. I
Don't
listen.
do it.
I
Yeah,
listen.
because that place is it's pretty creepy. There's a lot of activity, and I think you have to be the best of the best, to really investigate in there.
Hmm.
You have to be feeling 100% to get in there.
Yeah, yeah. But hopefully pretty soon. I know they'll be back there. I don't have the dates on me, but they'll be back there, and we'll get to go out there again. You've been out there before, and I think the last time you
Yes.
guys were out there, I was supposed to go, and something happened that I couldn't go.
Yes.
I don't remember what. So maybe I'm just
So
not
that's
meant
the
to go to
second time.
Emmaus. Maybe I'm not meant
That's
to
the
go
second
there.
time. That's all right. You can go to
I don't
Arcadia
know.
Academy with me. That's okay.
That is on that is on March 12th, I think.
No, it's the 22nd.
Okay.
March 22nd. It's the week before that Krista and I go to Lone Star Paracon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Check
you have
out
plenty of
Haunted
time to get better.
and hopefully not get sick again.
All right. Yeah, that too.
It's just not fun being sick. It's not fun
No,
being sick.
no.
But anyway, we got a great show for you guys tonight. Barb Hartman is backstage from No Drama Bigfoot and Cryptids. She's got some pretty cool activity on her property
Hmm.
of Bigfoot and some other stuff. So we got some stuff to talk about with her. But first, actually, before we get to the conference, real quick, I want to say thank you for Kimber being on the a member for 2 months. And
Yay.
excuse me, and Sinfully Wicked, appreciate you being here for 3 months, and glad to see you again, Sinfully. It's been a while since she's
Oh,
been
look
on.
at there and
And
gifted
look at
five
that. We're off
paranormal
to a
Paul
great start
membership.
today. Thank you again, Symphony.
Woo!
Symphony. Sinfully. My head's all messed up. So again, thank you guys very much for being part of this group. So anyway, let's talk about the conference real quick, which is going to be on September 9th. I had to look at the date to make sure I got it right. September 19th and 20th, the Crossing Realms Conference. We're going to be in Eagleton Civic Center on those 2 nights, and it's going to be a fun weekend. Meet and greets. Can you read those names? I can't read those
No,
names.
I can't either. I mean, we were
Oh,
talking about this. We're all blind here,
yeah,
and it's so small on the screen that I have because I have to
yeah.
sit it at a distance. So yeah, but we have, and I got to tell you this little tidbit of information about this conference because Krista and I had in mind 6 speakers, just 6. That's all we had planned, but this kind of blew up on us.
Hmm.
So, well, we have, so many speakers, so many special guests coming. We are super excited. This is going to be like the one to go to this year. I think it is
And
going to be, a really fun time.
yes.
There was a ghost hunt, but unfortunately that is sold out. But the meet and greet for Friday night is still available, which we have guest speakers Friday night too, because we're
Hmm.
overloaded now.
We're
We have
spilling
guest
into Friday
speakers.
night, so yeah.
Yeah, we spilled into Friday night. Plus, we're gonna have popcorn and a movie. So there is that gonna happen. And then of course all day Saturday with
Mhm.
vendors and other speakers, and it's just gonna be a great time. So
It is.
if you are in our chat here on YouTube, it is pinned at the top by Mr. Gary
Mhm.
Spikes for the Eventbrite link. If you are on other platforms and you cannot see our chat, go to eventbrite.com and look under Crossing Realms Conference, and you should be able to find all your information there.
Yes. And get your ticket soon. It will be a fantastic time, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, we actually did have to put a cap on how many people were allowed. So
For the ghost hunt or
Get
for
'em.
the conference?
get them while they're hot. Just saying.
For the conference, we have to put a cap on it.
Yeah, we only have so much
Wow.
room for the speaker
Oh, yeah, that's true.
presentations and stuff. Yeah, that's
true.
it.
So yeah, get your tickets soon before they go away. I mean,
That's right.
yeah, I think this one's gonna sell out. This one's gonna be a fun one. This one's gonna be a fun one.
I think so. I think so. And the best thing about it is that they're all people we've met. We are friends. We have a great time together. We have super rapport with everybody. So this is just going to be a fun time. Fun time. We're the no drama llamas, everyone. No drama llamas.
That's right. Speaking of no drama, let's bring up Barb.
That's right. That's right.
Barb,
Let's
how you
bring
doing?
up
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I wanted to say I can see some wonderful people in the chat. Hello, everybody.
Yes.
We do have a
Gary
great
and
chat.
Val, Denise, Pamela. Oh my gosh, Rob. Oh, so awesome.
Rob is here.
Yeah,
Hey,
and then
Rob.
speaking of not being able to see, I could actually see what you just had up.
Oh, really?
We should have brought her up to read it. What were we thinking?
That's the only thing I could see.
It would have covered you, so you wouldn't be like that.
Exactly. I couldn't read it. He couldn't read it. The only one that could is
No,
Barb.
wait a minute, as long as but wow, that's a great lineup. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And feel free to, promote it on my channel, on my Facebook page. That's cool. Hi, John.
Absolutely. We'll throw
Hi,
that out
Roger.
there.
Wow. Yeah, this is great.
Speaking of your channel, let everybody know where they can find you. It sounds like most of the people here have already.
Yeah, I'm just going to say probably about 95% of the people.
Yeah,
know
that's true.
Nice.
That's true. That's true.
I'm on Facebook. It's No Drama, Bigfoot and Cryptids.
Mhm.
And same thing on YouTube and TikTok. And you can also, Barb Hartman, well, not on Facebook, but on YouTube, I have it set so, if people don't know that, they can just search my name and it should come up. So
It did. I think the first time I searched for you, it came up like that.
okay.
I just put your name in there, and then this last time I did No Drama, and either way it popped up. So
Oh, good. Awesome. My
nice
daughter,
and Kelly.
I'm a llama.
that's really, I'm right in the right place for it. Gosh, there's just too much drama in the world, and who
Yeah.
wants to be involved in that? Nobody.
no, just yeah,
Yeah,
not here either. No drama here.
absolutely.
You already have that name, so I couldn't
love
take
you guys.
Because we're all blinded one way or another. We're doing great.
Yeah,
it. Between the three of us, we might have 20/20 vision.
maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And you're actually taking a break from doing some of your shows for your eyes. So
Yeah. I had done shows regularly, and I had to step back from that. And I was telling you, prior to the show, it was just getting too much, interfering with my research too much. Like
mhm.
you guys know how much like a live show takes to prepare for,
Oh, yeah.
and it just, and I was like, this is something's got to give. And then I'm like, what is not going to give is my my relationship with the Sasquatch people that are living here on my next to me and around me and coming on my property. I can't have that continue to suffer. And then and then I was telling Paul this, that my eyesight was getting progressively worse, and I'm like, am I going to need another change in the prescription because my eyes are so bad anyway. But when I went to the doctor's like, oh, well, you have a cataract. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I was told that like 10 years ago in my left eye. And they're like, that's the problem. It's not your eyesight. So now I have to get those taken care of. I've one starting in my right eye and a bad one in my left eye. And so I'll start that on Wednesday's the first surgery. And then 2 weeks after is the second surgery. But I can't wear eye makeup at all during that time. So I'm like, there's absolutely no shows for me.
Just put on sunglasses. I mean, come on.
Yeah, maybe that's what
I mean, you could always do this. I mean, you don't have to be on camera.
Yeah. But I'm like, yeah, I'll take a break.
Just take a little. But it's best to rest your eyes and not be stuck to a computer screen and all that good stuff. So, and you know.
Yeah,
right. You know, and I mean, you want to get healthy. You know, your eyes you need healthy eyes. You need to get healthy so you can keep observing your friends out there.
That's right. That's right. And I'm doing a show with Kenny Thibodeau, Star Fox, and so that's all recorded and if you know his stuff, he does like a lot of these cool graphics. He's an artist and just super, creative. And so I've been doing shows with him. And so, so I still have, a little like definitely enough to keep me busy.
There's enough there. And I'm sure a lot of research will be going on.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Oh, I cannot wait. I mean, I cannot even imagine going out and filming, and recording when I go out into where they're at. I cannot wait because, what I have to do now is take my phone out and zoom in and I'm like, hi, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at, and then I confirm it later. But man, to be able to see this live because they don't even really, it's to the point now, they don't even like hide from me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can literally, now it's not, it's not super close, but maybe 40 yards away, and they just sit there,
that's super close for me.
Yeah. And I'm not, and they don't do that when I have my, I'm like, hello, I don't have my, I'm not going to film anybody. I have my phone, but I'm not going to take any pictures or do anything. And man, it's so cool, but it's just, it really is unbelievable. But it's like trying to have this work on this relationship with them is paying off. I mean, it's, if I could only like show people what I can see. And this isn't every day. It's rare, but gosh, it's just.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're sitting there and you could be out in the backyard doing something. And then next thing you know, you look over and off in a distance, you see something staring at you.
Peeking at me. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or there's this super active area where that I have to go to a certain part of my property and I can kind of like walk in and peek in. But I always announce myself. But that is where I can see them because it's kind of like it's like a hangout area, you can see I could see like a group of them, maybe like they're like sleeping, and then there's usually a couple that are sitting toward the back that are holding little ones, and then there's some that are just sitting there chilling out, and they don't like the younger ones will like look more at me. The older ones really are just like ambivalent. They're like, it's just.
Well, the way I heard you describe it, I've heard, I've talked with you before about this. So, I mean, the way I've heard you describe it, it's kind of like, when you look at your dog and your dog looks away.
Yes,
and then you look away and the dog looks at you. I think that's what's happening.
That's what's
happening. They're observing you, observing them, but they don't want you to know that.
Right. Oh, but it's, so I can't imagine. Gosh, when I can see better, woo. but they'll probably back up then because they're like, you can't see us any closer than, than this.
Right.
So this is all a blessing in disguise, really.
Oh,
this is all about the Sasquatch. Seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
seeing better.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's
Not
right.
about
do
being
you
able to
think-
see your grandkids or anything better. It's to see the Sasquatch better.
Exactly. And it's kind of like, why do one at a time? Can you just blind me all at once and then
Yeah.
I can get over this faster? Can we do that?
Well, the eye doctor was like, okay, depending on, like, you could choose the lenses that you want. And do you want to see distance? And I'm like, thinking to my husband, do not say that she wants to know your Sasquatch better. Don't say you didn't.
Yeah, please don't. Shh. No. And I can see you doing that, just looking at him going, "Mm-mm,
Yeah.
no."
You know what? A cool thing is, though, that we do have orca in our, like, back behind our house, and we get them pretty frequently in the waters behind us, and I can't wait to be able to do that, to see them too, because that is something that you mentioned. Like that. I feel that my distance sight is more. There's all kinds of things that they can do with lenses. They, you can, like, almost like the eye surgeon said, it was like almost like a hearing aid that you can program it to certain like things. And I'm like, please just give me some basic lenses so I can see distance, and I don't care if I have to wear reading glasses. Or
I was gonna say, you just put some little readers on, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I've worn glasses, since in contact since I was like 5th, 6th grade. So yeah.
And to clarify, and again, to make myself completely sick again, these are lenses that they permanently put in your eye, right? They just
Yep.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And maybe other people know this. I didn't know. My daughter was explaining to me, because she worked for an eye doctor for a while, that your eye is like what is it, like finger jello? Like the finger jello. And yeah, she said, oh, they can. I thought, like, if they cut into your eye, like, all the stuff like flies out. I didn't know. I hate, like, the subject of like, ew, eyes are so gross.
I know, ew, right? But there is a covering.
Yeah.
It's It's
Yep.
just, ew.
But
Let's just go ew with that.
Yeah.
Anyway. I know I've been through the LASIX, and we talked about that, and you're going to be so happy when it's done.
I am. I mean, it's weird. It's like, I'm excited. Really. Can't wait.
I'm excited. Well, we'll have to talk to you. I'll have to, like, get in touch with you after you get the first one done and see.
Yeah.
Are you excited about the second one yet?
Yeah. It's going to be weird, like, because my eyes are really so bad. My, the prescription is like a 5 in one and like a 5.5 in the other. So it's, it's going to be great. It's like, I'm excited. Can I do it when?
Exactly. Today too soon.
Yeah,
I'm just asking. That's what I said. Can you blind me all at one time? Let me get this over with, and just let's not drag this out.
Yeah.
I don't need to see for anything.
But,
anyway.
Yeah. People didn't tune in here about
But you said you had the orcas that you can go and see very close to your property there. They're out behind.
Yes.
Have you, I don't know. I mean, now with, I don't know if you would call them a family unit, a clan. I don't, or a pod.
Yeah, they're pod. Yeah.
No, I was talking about the Bigfoot out there.
Oh, the clan. They
anything. Yeah, I call them family units because
clan. They call themselves Sasquatch, and their family is a clan. I also found out recently. I was calling he would be the I was calling him the alpha male, like the leader of the clan. Doesn't like that. I've been told doesn't like that because they don't have the same structure. They do not have alphas. He's a clan elder. He's the clan elder. I'm like, okay, that's good to know because
he's just the wise one. He's the wise one.
He's the one that I heard first and that I hear the most. He's such a distinctive sound. And I mean, I can't miss it. And, but yeah, so he is the clan elder. So not alpha male.
I think it's funny how you say that they don't like being called, or they call themselves clans or whatever. That just sounds interesting, funny to me.
Yeah. A lot of people contact me. You wouldn't believe how many, and say that they have messages. Now, so obviously I have to vet that, because but there's people that I trust and that I know that are gifted. Gary is one of them. He's on here, and he had said to me, Gary Spike said to me a couple months ago that the clan elder, he's trying to talk to you. So when you hear him, he's trying to communicate with you. So that, so just people definitely can communicate with them. It's amazing.
So
can you communicate back with them? I can't talk to them for some reason.
I have had now, I guess they call, mind speak, and it is different than, and I don't know if I've ever had telepathy, but it's different than what they say telepathy is, because it's not like, they're showing more pictures to me, and there's words, but it's not like they're saying words. It's more pictures.
They're
sometimes
you,
words, yeah, sometimes words will like flash in, and that's how I call him Mont, because he was also my first circumstance, I guess you'd say, of mind speak. And when I monitor my cameras, I basically I wait till about midnight. And so from midnight until like about 3:30 in the morning. Now, not every night, but if it's a night that it's not raining, and if it's, and sometimes the water behind our house, because we live on the Puget Sound, gets really noisy. So if it's a quiet night that's not raining and there's not a lot of wind, is when I will try to, see if I can hear them. And I just watch them. I just watch through my cameras, and I immediately will like I'll start to record immediately when I turn the camera on, so I'm not missing any audio. And that's how I've been able to get all of the audio. And so one night I was laying there, and I was kind of like, sometimes I fall asleep. I'm like listening and fall asleep, and I heard this grunt, and I'm like, oh, that's him. And then this word was like flashed in my mind, and it said Mont, M-O-N-T. And I'm like, wait a minute, is that your name? And so I'm like saying this in my head, and he grunts again into the camera, as confirmation. And I'm like, whoa, that is so cool. And I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And I asked him to do it again, and he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. He's like, I'm not doing that. You don't believe me?
Right.
So, but I really think that, and there have been times that I am listening, and I'll say, like in my head, like, Mont, if you're there, would you come to the camera and just, say hello? And there's definitely been times that he does. Actually, like, I feel like if he's in the area, he will, if he knows that I don't know how they know what they do. I mean, they can see when the camera turns on, but he has to be close enough that he can get to the camera while I'm still listening. So anywhere from like 3 to 10 minutes, if he doesn't show up, then he's not around. He's not coming that night.
Okay.
But but there's many nights that, he's the one that I would hear the most. I feel that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was going to say, I feel that they're not, I think he's not here right now. They supposedly have a meeting with where, like, at this time of the year, where the Sasquatch clans will take the members of the clans that are ready to be paired up with, for like a marriage type of a thing. So anybody, the girls or the boys, whatever, the males, females that are breeding age, they will take them, and then they'll pair up. And they also take the younger ones who are not old enough, but like are starting to get interested in the opposite sex, and they'll kind of just, and everybody does that, and then they maybe you find somebody that catches your eye, and then I believe that, and it, what's funny is that, like, what is it called, Expedition Bigfoot, they were saying essentially the same thing. Now, I don't know if they got information from somebody, but they were talking about there's this migration. They go up to the Olympic Peninsula, which is really just very close to me, or they go up into British Columbia. And I've been told this, I think about maybe 2 or 3 years ago, somebody told me this, and I'm like, I don't know, but man, I feel like it might be, because I haven't last year around this time, and again now I haven't heard him for a while. I hear others, but not him for a while. So,
well, I got two things. The first one is going back to the orca thing. Do you have to? What I was going to say, do you have to walk into their territory to see the orcas, or can you see them from where you are, where you don't have to go in there?
Oh yeah, no, I can see them. Yeah, because they're just out in the water, and there's a pretty beautiful view. I'm so blessed.
Okay. I was like, do you really have to walk out there? It's like walking through their house. Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah. No, and I mean, it's like it's incredible. I actually, like, you have to in a boat. You're supposed to stay. There's laws, that you have to stay a certain amount, distance from them. And we were in a boat. We were out in our boat a couple of years ago, and we were keeping the distance, like, way, because I mean, definitely don't want to violate any laws. I love orcas. I would hate to have them, because they're not here to do shows and for us, and they're just here trying to get food, and feed their family and do their thing. So I'm like, I don't want to interrupt. Like, I don't want to interrupt that. Man, it burns me, like, that infuriates me if I see something like a getting too close. So anyway, we're back way back from it, and watching them great distance. All of a sudden, this big bull, the male, and his dorsal fin was like 8 feet tall. Wow. Pops up behind us, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Am I in a big enough boat? That's all I want to know.
Mike, that would be awesome.
No, it wasn't a big enough boat, but it was so, like, I'm glad that I didn't know it was going to happen, because it would have, I don't even know, but it was really cool that it did, because I saw him, he comes up, like, does the exhale, and then went under the boat and kind of and turned, and I saw his, like, white belly. It was really cool. It was the coolest thing. So,
that is so cool.
The
other thing, the other part that I was going to talk about is, and I always believed that they would have to migrate, or they would have to do something to find a partner. I mean, because otherwise we would see more deformities out in the field, with footprints, possibly, something with a limp, or the sightings, they wouldn't be as healthy as they are. So, yeah, I'm glad you explained that to me, because I'm like, that's what I had always thought, that they would have to do something like that to find a healthy partner that wasn't related.
And so many people will say, so I don't know if all of them, I believe that all of them go to these 2 separate spots. Now, I don't know if there's I've not heard of any other ones, but I know I have heard of, like, friends, a friend here. And then there's a woman in Oklahoma, and the Sasquatch that she was familiar with, like, he has a very distinctive look, ended up here. And so, I mean, and has remained, and these people have seen him. So, probably the same one, probably matched up to the one here, and he's from Oklahoma. It's just, it's bizarre. There's evidence to support that. It's so. Well,
they can definitely move at a faster pace than we could. So, I mean, is it possible that they could reach those distances? Absolutely.
Probably, because we have no idea, with quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and I definitely feel like they utilize that. I mean, Ron Moorhead, explains it perfectly, and I definitely think they could utilize that. So,
Getting back to the mind speak, Riley Ron Forrest had a quick question. How can you all be sure it's a Bigfoot when talking telepathically, not some other entity disguising?
Yeah, that's a good question. That is a really good question, because I have had some experiences with, like, we lived in a haunted house, and I've had some experiences with the demonic, and I am very like careful, and I would not want to do that, but so I don't know, but what I can say is that I haven't had any sort of any bad experiences with the Sasquatch. I haven't had any, they've never like purposely scared me, never done anything. I've been out in the woods, near them by myself. They've never done anything like to try to harm me or be aggressive whatsoever. And then the other thing is that the mind speak kind of lines up with whatever's happening. So
Okay.
the first one was, like I said, was Mont. Okay. Now there's another one that, this one, I recognize him because he always is, he's mimicking like a duck, like a water bird or a goose. And so he does this, like, he starts out great, like quack, quack, quack. And then it goes into like a garbled, like a barking of a dog. I got him really, I actually have a recording on my YouTube channel recently. I got a really, like, this is what he does, right? And then it goes into it. He ends up just grunting. So it's obviously not a goose. And he does this all the time. So one night I'm listening to that and I'm like, oh, it's that one again. And I hear like Oscar in my head. And I'm like, oh, Oscar. But then I see the word OSKAR, like flashes in my. So I'm thinking OSCAR, Oscar Mayer,
Right.
whatever, OSCAR. No, OSKAR. I'm like, oh, okay, like corrected me. I don't know. Because I was literally thinking OSC, and I mean, so is it something that's not them? I don't know. I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any evidence like to say that, to even like to question that.
Yeah, but when you're sitting there and you're saying that the visuals that you're getting, whether it be words or pictures or anything, are coinciding with what is currently happening, that's kind of hard to dismiss. Even on the paranormal ghost hunting side of it, when you're getting evidence and it's coinciding with everything that's happening, it's kind of hard to dismiss about what you're dealing with at that point.
Yeah, good point. That's it. I mean, you can only use your, deductive reasoning, and if it's something that you can't explain any other way. And I've also had some episodes of Mind Speak where they showed me things, like they showed me Sasquatch. I actually had this episode of Mind Speak with this little one that he said his name was Sparky, and he was so cute, and he said, watch, I want to show you what I can do. And was like showing me like him running in a field. And then he jumps up, grabs a tree, like the branch of a tree that's like sticking out. He jumps up and he's like spinning around, like holding onto it and spinning around, and then jump down. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm completely awake. I'm folding laundry when this happens. I'm just like not thinking about Sasquatch. And he just came in. And showed me that.
And that just sounds like a little kid comes up to you. Hey, Grandma, look and see what I can do.
Yes. And what was so funny is that he was saying, because, so prior to that, I had this pretty profound, like emotionally episode of Mind Speak with them, where they were saying, we don't understand why you want to see us. Why are you always trying to see us? Why are you trying to look at us and take pictures of us? Because humans hate us. Like they think we're scary monsters and they think we're ugly. Why are you why are you doing this? And it made me so sad. It just made me so sad to think like that's what, that's how, and it's true. That is how most people would think, that if they don't believe in them, they're going to think that they're scary monsters and terrifying. And so when Sparky came to me, he was like, I'm glad that you had this, almost like, I'm glad you worked that out with my family. That's not what he was saying, but it was something to that, to that effect, like, glad we worked this out. And then he was like talking a little bit and, showing me running, spinning. And then he's like, okay, bye. And just like leaves, just like a little 9-10-year-old boy would do. Like, I'm tired of this, this emotional talk about stuff now. I'm going to show you what I can do and then bye. I'm bored now. So it was so cute.
Now, have you how long have you been on this property?
Since 2017. We moved in September 2017.
And have you always been getting the mind speak
No,
since you've been there, or is it just
No.
recently? Okay.
No, that is very recent. I want to say probably maybe this time or a little earlier last year was the first time, and that was the thing with Mont, and that was the first one I had. And I don't really have and I've had probably count on one hand, the actual episodes of Mind Speak. I'll get messages, but I don't know. It's those are like, I guess they are. I don't know. I have to learn how to try to like clear my mind, like tune it, like receive it. Maybe the messages better.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're just receiving them. You may be sending them out, not thinking that you're doing it.
Yeah. Oh, Lori's asking, I live in Washington State. Yeah, I live in Washington State.
South of Seattle. South of Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And somebody else asked, any dogman on your property or
no,
near? Just
no, I've not. I got some pictures and some video. I think it was like last fall that people said, "Oh my gosh, there's dogmen," and definitely one that certainly looked like a dog. It kind of looked like a German Shepherd, but like much bigger, but I didn't see it. I can see it on my video, so I don't know. I didn't see them at all when I was recording them. And but that's not uncommon. People tell you that you come home and you're like, oh my gosh, there was one that was sitting, like 10 feet, not a dog man, but Sasquatch, it could be 10 feet away from me. And I had no idea. Now I did see a dog man when we were walking our property. We own property in Pennsylvania, northeastern Pennsylvania. And that was last fall. And I did see something looking at me and I thought, whoa, that is something I've never seen before. And I'm quite sure, that it was a dog man. And even the guys at, the dog man project said, yeah, that looks like a dog man.
Wow.
So,
wow.
But,
and these, the Bigfoot on your property, do you smell them at all? Do they stink at all or?
I have never, well, okay. I do occasionally, we will smell things. I'll smell something. But it's so fleeting that I don't, and it's what I've smelled is it's like a garbage, but rotten garbage, like a stinky wet dog, which okay, but it's very, very like quick. It doesn't linger, and so I think it's more of a thing where they like put that maybe into your head, or if they're doing it to scare people, off if they don't want them in the area. But what I have smelled a little bit more frequently is this like honeysuckle, fresh, like, oh my gosh, like just the most beautiful scent of honeysuckle. And some people say that is a female that is pregnant with child. They emit that scent. I don't know if that's true, but I know that I have smelled that. I'd say more often than that stinky smell.
Wow. Now
my husband and I we're buying a property up in on the Olympic Peninsula. There's a cute little like vacation village up there that we're buying. We're like building a little like it'd be a short-term rental, like a beach property. And we were walking on a trail up there, and we both smelled this weird, like terrible. It wasn't like something was dead. My husband said he thought it smelled like one time he smelled like a mangy, like a coyote. And he said that was the closest thing, but not the same. So I don't know, if that was a Sasquatch. I'm not sure.
Well, I was wondering, since you had so many experiences and you're very close to this clan, when you go, like you just said, when you go on other like vacations elsewhere, are you having, I don't know, activity, curiosity, or something, it's like, hey, Barb, look at me.
Yeah. I not direct, not anything that's like overtly, I've never got mind speak or anything. But definitely like, when I was in California visiting my son, and we were it was a Del Monte, like conservation forest or something. I can't even remember, but I started taking video because I'm like, that really looks like there's things peeking at us. And I got some things there. Like we were at the ocean and they're out on there was this thing that was like out on this rock. And it was like a dangerous part of, like, it wouldn't have been a human, but like peeking. I got that on video. So I think yes. And I definitely got some stuff when we were up on the Olympic Peninsula. It was like, whoa, got some weird stuff there. So I do think some people say that, once you have this awareness, like you're almost like marked or whatever, to have a relationship with them. So then whether I'm more in tune to it or they just are like, hey, we know you. I don't know.
It's like, I think you may be just an honorary member and they're like, hey.
I don't know.
I mean, it certainly sounds like you have friends there. I mean, they're not, they're not scared of you.
It's just kind of like, and it makes me wonder, because they are so close to you and you go in and out of the house and in and out of the house, and inadvertently you can pick up that smell and have it on you and never smell it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of reminds me, like, if you go somewhere else, well, that's in your clothes, it's in your hair. I mean, it's
I don't know. Now I was and I don't know if that happened to me after I was on your show, Paul, before, but I actually found one in a bush, and she was like 6 feet from me, and there was no odor at all.
Really?
Yeah, and so she didn't smell at all.
Interesting. Because I think the last time you were on, you had just gotten some kind of footage up by like a garage.
Yeah.
There was a weird shadow figure in there too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah. So that was pretty insane. Yeah, I don't remember that the 6 feet away.
Yeah, it probably was before that. But yeah, she I could see them, that they were gathering at dusk. It was August of 2024, it was 2023. And I thought, okay, they're gathering there and I can see them in my peripheral. And if I can kind of see them. So I thought, I'm just going to see if I can get them on camera. And I said, if you want to get on camera, and I just did so there's like an area where, I mean, I can see it right now. I'm looking at it right now. And I got to the end of that, and there was just like these big bushes, like there's the tree line. And then, like these big, just native bushes, whatever, that grow. For some reason, I just like stuck my phone and my head in, and there she was. And
wow.
She either shut my camera off or I did. I did not get, I mean, you can see me, like you can see, the camera's going in and you can see it start to like, it's because it's trying to, I had it on like the night, whatever, like setting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's trying to adjust, and then it shut off. But here's the thing, as far as the recording shut off, but I could still see, like I could see her through the camera, and I could see. And then, so, and then the camera is like making this like ambient light, so I could see her. And I don't understand that, but I definitely can. And the thing that was all right. So she looked, it was like, whoa, that looks like Chewbacca. I mean, oh my gosh. Wow. Exactly like Chewbacca, except that here's the thing though. I could only see her like from here up, because she had her hands like this. I remember the big long hair that was hanging down. Her hands were like I know that they were like bare, but she still had hands. I mean, I could see like the tips of her fingers, but I know she still had hair on her hands. And I mean, this was not, and her head was not. It was more round. It was just like Chewbacca. And she, our eyes met, and then she went like this. It was so cute. Like, I mean, and I screamed and ran in the house, but which made me, I did struggle with that, because I thought I shouldn't have done that. I should not have screamed. Like, what the heck? Like, at least back away respectfully. Like, I'm not going to try to interact with her, because she obviously doesn't want that. Was, she put her head down. But but I've come to terms that they're not mad at me, because they actually, I had the session of Mind Speak when they were like asking why, that I had mentioned before, that why do you want to see us? And people think we're ugly. And then I'm thinking, yeah. And then what do? Then I scream when I saw one, but it wasn't that she was scary looking. It was like adorable, but it was just, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Was it more excitement, or because you weren't scared? Was it excitement?
No.
You think? Like you screamed like this.
Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh! Like, here's the thing that exists, but you've never like seen it like right there in front of you, and it's like a shock because because I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
just like you were startled to see something like right in front of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I have seen them more when I'm talking about, I can see them now and they're just acting like ambivalent. That didn't start until after, that's just been like within the last, maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 months. And so, this was August 1st of 2023 is when I saw her in the bush.
Awesome.
And yeah.
Awesome. We have some. I was able to get some of the audio, couple of the audio recordings that you have from your security camera, and a lot like what we do with ghost hunting is you have to go through and watch every single piece of evidence or video that we take.
Yep.
You can't just sit there and fast forward it.
No.
You will miss something. So this is very similar to the watching like ghost video.
Yeah.
So the first one,
like watching paint dry at times.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. The hours of footage that I have like out in the field, and then even because I don't always hear this stuff live though. And that's the thing that's frustrating.
Yeah.
I'm like,
exactly.
But
it's like, why can't I hear this when I'm standing out there? It's always got to wait when I leave. I have the recorder going, but it's when I leave.
Yeah. Yep.
This first one is from your channel, No Drama Bigfoot, which Pam's been dropping in the chat.
Thank you so much.
I believe this one that you had titled "The Scariest Sounds That You Have." So she has a bunch of captions on here, and it's pretty interesting. We'll talk about this after we play it. It's minute 49, so enjoy. Okay. So when you had on there auto caption, is that something that your software picks up what it thinks it hears?
Yes. And so that is just, literally like that could be completely crap, so, but that's just what the auto program, but it's weird because it's like, yeah.
So it picked
No,
up the word
I
God.
heard it. I heard it with the first recording. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
that air,
compelling.
like, almost sounds like an air hose, and I sound right like I got that once before on our, not on this camera, on our camera, like the driveway camera, and but I really couldn't pick up anything that night. Because I saw somebody said interference, and maybe it's just, that's not typical.
Right.
Definitely not typical.
So somebody sent me a recording that they had of a possible UFO, and the sound that their video had was very similar to this one that we just saw. Almost some kind of weird interference from something not from this planet or something. I mean, I don't know what.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
I mean, who knows? I mean, that,
yeah, that's right. That could be. I have no clue. No clue.
Yeah.
And it was, I was like, ugh. You know.
One of these days, the person that sent me that video, she's coming on here, and I'll play that for everybody. So that was a very interesting thing as well. And you know, just another reason why it's a good idea to have cameras around your house. I mean, security, yeah, great, but stuff like this, even better.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think it sounds like there's something being said underneath, like there is, I always talk about the white noise, how it can be deafening sometimes, especially when everything is super quiet and all you hear is this shh going on in your ears. But if you listen really close, sometimes you'll be able to hear those conversations underneath that. And that's what I thought I heard when it was going, at full speed, and I was like, I'm hearing something under that. I don't know if you could probably ever clean that up because of the sound of.
Yeah, I had some people
happening there.
Several people tried to, and they said,
"There's no way."
Yeah, and I mean, I know, and this is the problem with a lot of the stuff, and I do think it has to do with just their, whether they're, I don't know, they're just what their abilities are or whatever. But if you remove certain amounts, like certain parts of it, you're going to remove a large part of it, or you'll lose the clarity. So, because people will say, "Oh, you got to get rid of that noise," but believe me, and I know nothing about. I've learned from people have taught me. Here's what you do, because it was like I kept like bugging people, would you please? And still, though, if I get something that's really like that one, I had several people that I know, like they're closest to experts as you can get, and they're like, no idea what this is, no idea.
Right. And I wouldn't have any idea how to clean that up because you would lose almost everything.
Yeah.
Because it's sitting underneath the loudest sound. It's sitting right underneath that.
Yeah. And it's like they purposely, and that's the thing. What's funny, but so frustrating with the Sasquatch is they're loudest on the nights when the water's loud or it's, it's really windy and stormy and I can hear them, but you can't really present
pick it up.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's on purpose too.
I know, and it's frustrating.
Yeah,
and it's frustrating.
They know we want to hear it. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
So this other audio piece that I got was you can hear the words. You get words from this one, I think. You can hear those pretty clearly. So.
And I'll tell. Yeah, this was the one that was like 30 minutes after that weird one. Is that the same? Is this the same one?
It might have been.
Okay.
But this is from a different. So the first one seemed like it was from a deck camera up on top.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, this is a different one.
And this is one looks like it's going down below.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the lower. Oh, so
lower
this is a different one. All right.
Yeah, this is a different one. So here we go on that one.
I love you. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And that's the auto captions, you
Yeah,
know.
it's trying to, yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't that interesting because like you slow down and it all slows down. And this was not slowing down. It was keeping that same weird.
It is weird. And, I can't put my finger on it, but it also sounds like it also could be mimicking something else.
Maybe. Could
be.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough. That one's got me. That one's got me. That's a tough one. That one's got me.
That was something that now, okay, where we live, there's not, we're remote. We have neighbors, but they're not close. You're not going to, our closest neighbors are like in like 80 years. I mean, like they're up there. They're not going to be out at 3 o'clock in the morning, like yelling. No. And I would recognize their voice, and they're not going to be
right.
This was that. So it's not, so it's like, it's not a human, but I still wouldn't have been like, hey, everybody listen to this. Cause it's just odd. But that when I tried to mess with it and slow it down, I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. This is really
right.
Weird. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. That one's got me for sure.
Yeah.
It almost sounded like a pissed off cat.
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, in her area, what it sounds like is she has a lot of woods or anything. I mean, it could be anything from a bobcat to who knows?
Yeah. Because we do. Yeah, because we would have that,
right.
Although, like that's the kind of thing, like unless it's like a pissed off cat, but like I know what a bobcat sounds like, or we have a fox, like very few skunks, but once in a while, raccoons, yes. As a matter of fact, the first time I recorded, I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't wait to show my husband. I'm like, Randy, listen to this. And he's like, that's 2 raccoons fighting. I'm like, because man, talk about creepy.
Yeah. So BJ said mimicking a female cat in heat.
Well, could be.
Yeah. I mean, you just never know. You just never know. But, and Barbara, let me tell you a little story. I was out on a hike and it was probably about midnight or so. And the next thing you know, I hear an elk bugle.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Wait, was there an elk bugle?
Down by you?
See?
No, on the other side of the state. And there's no elk over there.
No. So
no elk.
What would do that? What would do that?
So that leads me to believe something else, because there was no denying that it was a bugle.
Yes.
No denying it. Now, they had re-released elk over on my side of the state, but they hadn't reached over there, because I always go to the conservation officers and I'm asking, hey, what kind of animals you got in the area? Because for number one, when you're out there walking around, you need to know.
Right.
You need to know what you need to be prepared for.
Absolutely.
But not only that. And so I went back, a couple days later, I'm like, hey, have you got any elk in the area? They're like, no. And I went,
wow.
Okay, thank you. And that was another Barb thing. Barb would have said, don't tell them.
Yeah.
Don't tell them.
I got
because it was straight up, and 4 other people heard it. 4 other people heard the bugle.
We all knew that sounds like an elk, and there's no elk. That's cool.
Right. So in your case, because you have them out there, could they be mimicking something?
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
my thing is, I again, we talked about they migrate, and they've got to when the food runs out, they do have to move. And I'm thinking maybe they've moved kind of like to that side of the state, or something that has been over here moved that way, and they're probably calling out or mimicking, trying to lure food in.
Could be,
and that was, one of the things I was thinking. I'm like, well, that would make kind of sense. I mean, why would they go chase something down when they can just call it in? I mean, we as humans do it all the time with duck calls and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we do it. Why would they do it?
Also could have been just alerting other members.
Possibly.
like here's some people coming through, and
Yes.
and they're not gonna. How are they gonna alert them? Hey, let's make
Right. But
they won't know
it's like something had to have heard an elk. Had to.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
I mean, when you played that for me, that's all I could think of it as. I was like, okay, that could be something. That's why it's got me. I'm like, okay, okay, not sure.
I'll tell you, I have a piece of audio, and I would encourage everybody, please go to my YouTube channel and check it out, because when I was saying about the one that mimics a like a duck or a goose or whatever,
Yes,
I got that on audio, but there was also he was very close to the camera now, and he's never been this close to the camera. Now I think that's Oscar. He said told me his name was Oscar, and he was
with
very
a K.
Yes, with a K. And
With
I
a
always
K.
hear them from
Russian version.
far away. Yeah. But this was so close. And also there was, so what they do a lot, like that noise, and then the like owl noises. And this particular night, there was this little one that, I mean, the cameras sit way because of the down like angle of our yard. This camera is probably 30 feet off, maybe 15 to 30, like because of like where they could be 15 feet, they could be 30. But this sounded so close, like this little one that's making an owl noise sounded like it was on the roof, like right above the camera. And then when, with like, let's say Oscar is making these noises later on, this one that was further away that had a higher pitch was making the same cadence, the same like set of noises that he was making. So I'm like, this is them teaching the little ones how to mimic, I think. I don't know what else it could be. Yeah. So I don't know.
That's exciting.
Is. I don't know if, I hope somebody, I don't know, is paying it or whatever, people that have listened to it, they're like, yeah, certainly. But, I don't know. So I think that was cool. That was it.
That's exciting. Absolutely. Wow. That is neat.
Yes. Make sure you guys go over to No Drama Bigfoot and Cryptids on YouTube. We've had Pam's had the link on there. I just threw it up too. It's in the show notes. Make sure you go over there and check that stuff out. You got a lot of great stuff on there.
Yes.
We do have a couple questions here.
Yeah, sure.
I should have asked this one before. And how do you feel? How do you feel when they do that? I believe this was when you were talking about the mind speak.
Okay. If that's what, it really just depends on what the mind speak is. It's really cool. It's like exhilarating, when they're when I heard the Mont and then the Oscar, but the one that was the most profound, that just made me so sad. It was strange because I'll play music for them when the weather's nice out, because I've been told that they like that. So I'll play music and I'll kind of just be like singing to them and dancing on the deck. And so I'm having a great time, just doing that. And then all of a sudden, that's when this feeling, like this sad feeling, came over me, like, oh my gosh. And it's like out of nowhere, that's not my feeling. And so and I was literally like, was crying my eyes out, and I'm not a crier, but like during that episode that of Mind Speak, because it was so profound, and it made me feel so bad that that's how they feel, like that humans, most humans think they're monsters, and they're ugly, and they're, that made me really sad. Hi, Brad.
If you think that these Bigfoot are monsters, just go check out Barb's channel.
Right.
So, playing the music, I mean, do you do that a lot? And do they seem to really respond to that?
Not a lot. Now, I've been told that they like it at different times of the month, like with the moon phases, that it comforts them. And so I've been told like 4 days before the full moon is when, I guess, that they can be attacked also by like nefarious forces here, you know, on this earth and like on this plane, and then also like from other planes or, you know, whatever. And if you play music that's in a certain like a chord, you know, music that has this predominant chord running through it, it comforts them, and they love that.
Yeah,
So,
it could be the frequency. Absolutely. Well, I believe that. Absolutely. Because I mean, think about a cat purring. They have scientifically proved that if you hold a cat while it's purring, it is proven to calm you.
yes.
It's to make you feel better. So that frequency may be good for them. You know, so yeah.
And you know, and then maybe Native Americans and Indigenous, they will, you know, they'll make music out of, you know, with the drums and flutes and instruments, and they love that and respond to that. I don't have that ability, so I just play the music that you know that I'm told that they like. They supposedly like, excuse me, Yellow by Coldplay. Supposedly love that.
Specific.
There's like a list of songs.
Wow.
Play, because it's the chord that it's in, and I don't even remember what it's like a something. Oh, I don't know about music. And then two songs by Nirvana, a song by Lady Gaga.
Well, yeah, it's in Seattle. Come on.
Yeah. But you know what though? The person that's funny though, but the person that told me this she's from Australia. So it's not even like a person, you know.
Wow.
You know, I guess if I were in your position, I would try all genres of music, different eras, to see if I could get any activity. You know, I mean, well, good for, you know, good and bad, you know. I mean, I'm sure they'll let you know if they don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you start playing like Neil Diamond or something, then they get rocks thrown at you. Maybe not play that.
Exactly. That'll tell you to stop that, you know.
Yeah, Nirvana they might like more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you know what? Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say like big band music or you know, just different stuff. And that's just wild. That's just wild to me.
And those are like, there was a couple of the songs that I really like loved on the list, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play these because I feel like repetition would be good, you know, if they've never actually heard these before.
Right.
So yeah, what can I stand to listen to? You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they seem to.
You know, now you got me thinking about what kind of music. I mean, like you said, the big band might be good. You know, maybe some like drum beats. That would be interesting. Wow.
I want to see.
This would be a really neat experiment.
Like
play some Native American drum beats or something.
I'm looking in my records to see what. Oh, here it is. Okay, yay. Here is the list of songs that
I'm interested.
It's in it's B chord, B major chord is what. So a song with the and so Coldplay, Yellow, Jason Mraz, I'm Yours, Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. That's one.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
If it starts singing back with you, look out.
Oh yeah, I mean you could even go back to your you could go back to your classical music.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Wait, let me see. Lady Gaga, Poker Face, AC/DC, Highway to Hell. Like, okay. The Ghostbusters. Let's see. Guns N' Roses, Night Train. I don't know that song, but I know them. Lil Wayne, How to Love. Oh, I love this one, November Rain. I have to. That's like a sad song.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But they don't know the words.
Right.
Right.
For those of you just tuning in, we are doing a list of Sasquatch songs.
To sue the Sasquatch.
The top 70.
Top 70.
Yeah.
Casey Kasem of the Sasquatch world.
Yeah, a lot.
Right.
It's Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. But Nirvana's Heart-Shaped Box, and I've always loved that song. So they get that regularly. They get that once a month, sometimes, more. I just love that song. But
this is just unreal to me. I mean, this is cool.
Well, I'll tell you though, speaking of of Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, there is a Sasquatch here that sounds like him. It has this like almost like a yodel in its voice. And I've recorded him several times, and I call him Kurt. You know, it's not. I didn't get any money.
Why not?
I mean,
I
that's
mean,
nobody
at least
told me
be able
that.
to identify him.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds like Kurt Cobain when he would do that in some of his songs. You know, like that, almost like a little bit of like a yodel. Yeah. Sasquatch Grammys. Denise said, yeah. They don't like Led Zeppelin. Okay, Gary, thank you. I will not play Led Zeppelin.
Wow. Sounds like
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, thinking of the paranormal, depending on what we're investigating, I will play the period music for in its heyday, you know, so I will do that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's exciting. That's exciting. I never thought about that.
I just thought of a question that before I came on, but I was listening to you both. When you said, like, for Paul, don't go out into the, you know, to investigate the paranormal when you're not feeling well. What is that?
Oh, go ahead, Paul. I was just going to say it's because if you're not feeling 100% on your game, that means that your walls are down, you are not fully protected, that sort of thing. So if in Paul's case, he has not been feeling well. He's not 100%. And where he was talking about going at Emmaus Village, that place has not been investigated but 5 or 6 times. 5 or 6 times. That's all. So these spirits are ready and willing to communicate, show themselves, all kinds of stuff. And you have got to be, on your game.
Gotcha.
You've got to be on your game. Yeah.
And I have been told
otherwise
many
you
times,
might end up with something you don't want to take with you.
I've been told many times to never bring anything home. So.
Oh yeah. Oh boy.
I listen.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really want to. You don't want to do that. And plus, you know, it's just really not. It's just not a good place for you to be because you're sniffling and sneezing and you're just, you know, it's just not good for you at all. And plus, the place is cold right now.
Yeah. And you know, I can't stay up past 9 o'clock now. So you know, there's no way I can stay up till midnight.
So it's almost night time right now.
I'm getting better. Maybe 9:15. You know.
Maybe.
Go ahead, Randy.
I was just gonna say, you know, maybe in a month, you know, you'll be able to stay up to 10. We'll give you the 10.
The clocks changed tonight. I love the extra sunlight, but man, I hate this time.
I do too. I mean, thank goodness I don't have to go to work tomorrow and deal with all of that.
Yeah.
You know, but it does make me. I guess it wouldn't. I always wondered if it bothers, like, not that the Sasquatch would know that it's the time change, but does it affect them as the days get longer and the nights get shorter and vice versa? Does it affect them? Do they go into not a lot like a hibernation mode, but a more of a not do much mode, you know, over the winters, and they just kind of, you know, just hang out and don't exert themselves so much. I mean, I've always wondered that.
Well, I can tell you with certainty that they don't exert themselves. I mean, from what I've seen is they spend a lot of time just like, you know, laying
hanging
around, chilling out and just, you know, napping. But I think, you know, they do that to conserve their energy, you know, because acquiring food. There's a lot of food sources here, so it's probably why they do have, you know, they can live here like year round. But no, that I think that they definitely do that. I know, you know, I many times have seen them just kind of piled,
just kind of lay around.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? Are these Sasquatch? Are they flesh and blood? Or spiritual, or what?
I think like they're both. Like I know that they're. I mean, that one that I saw was definitely, she wasn't like a spirit. I mean, she was there in front of me. And the ones that I see, they're not, they're not like transparent, that what you would think like a spiritual being would be. But I do think that they have abilities. So like, I'm going to say, flesh and blood while they're here in this, whatever.
Realm. Yeah.
Yeah. So they would eat, they would reproduce. But they definitely aren't, they definitely have abilities that are beyond definitely, like what a human could do.
And they can, traverse in the different realms.
Yeah.
See, this is just bringing up more questions. See, this is why I'm like, oh my gosh, because then I'm sitting here going, okay, so if we think that they're flesh and blood more on this realm, do they have to come to this realm to reproduce, or can they do it on a celestial level or a spiritual level? Or I'm confused. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, though, Tom Cantrell, I don't know if you guys know him, but he's like he's been researching them for like, oh gosh, I want to say like 60 years. And he was actually witnessed the birth, this female Sasquatch having twins. And they were there in the like flesh and blood. And he said one of the things that he just told me the other day that I was like, whoa, excuse me, is that, when a baby comes out and they like to try to get all the gook out of its lungs, and they kind of just like whack it or whatever whatever the doctor does, what this one did, she took the baby and dunked it in cold, there was a creek near, and she took and like stuck the baby down in the water. And then it came out like, crying and screaming. And then she went back and handed the baby to another one and then proceeded to have another baby and do the same thing. And then, so he said he saw all that. Like, wow.
Well,
that's how you ladies do it, right? I mean,
that's typical,
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Stop behind the tree. You know how it is.
Right.
That's it. But I mean, that is a human type trait.
Yes.
I mean, we have the baby and we clean the baby.
Yeah. Yep.
So basically that's what it sounds like, is that we had them,
baby,
washed them off, and then
get them going, because they have all that gook in their lungs to get that.
That's amazing.
I thought that was incredible. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's why I just, I just find it creates more questions, but I just love hearing all this stuff, but it just creates more questions. Like I said, I believe that everything's kind of intertwined. I just don't know how it is intertwined.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, wow.
The more, honestly, the more that I get in, the further I get into is definitely
the more questions, right?
I have. Yes. Yeah.
But that's the fun of it all. I mean, you learn some things, and then what does this mean?
Yeah.
What does this mean? And
when you think you found a puzzle piece, you need to find 10 more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To go with that one. Yeah, I know. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. But
I just thought of something, just a cute little story, quick. And some people have already heard this, but like they will go through, they'll go through times that and I don't think it's the adults. I think it's the juveniles, the teenage boys getting in trouble. They're somehow like harassing our dog. And I don't know what they do, but because he gets so upset at night. Like he's a little mini Aussie, so he's a little bit high strung anyway, but this is like going around, looking at the window, panting like, and last night he was so beside himself that he just like went and put himself in his crate, like in his like little cage all night long. He was and like, come on, Asher, you want to come out? He's like, no. So I have to get out there tonight and yell at them and say, I'm going to tell your dad, because it seems like it works.
See, there's another question that I have. See, here's another one. Because I'm sitting there going, well, do you think Sasquatch can make a noise that is beyond our frequency of hearing? Could they be doing that? Which we're like, why is this dog going crazy?
Yes.
You know, but yet they're making these sounds which we can't hear on a different frequency. So I'm like, maybe. Maybe.
And it's funny, like he knows where, like I think he can definitely see them, because there will be times that you know, if we're out on the deck and he's looking at the woods, like, and sometimes he's just wagging his tail, or he'll be looking out the window and like wagging his tail, like he can see something, and you know, right where they would be. But yeah, there's some naughty ones, so I'm gonna have to get, because it was funny, because my daughter's kind of like, I didn't know that she actually believed, you know, that they existed, but there he is now barking, but sorry. But she said, this was like about 3 days of this, and she said, Mom, can you do something? I'm like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, get out there and tell them to like leave the dog alone.
Right. So they're probably out there in the woods going, watch this.
Yeah, right. And
Here, hold my beer.
Right. And what was so funny is that I actually I got a record when I went out, and I you know, and I'm like, okay, because this was going on. I'm like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm like, Mom, if you're out there, like, you need to come and, like, you know, get these boys under control. And that night, and I have it on you know, on my YouTube channel, like, I could hear him, and he was pissed. Like, he's making these like pissed off noises. Like, he was coming and he was going to tell them. And then there was this other one who coos. I think she's a female, and she literally is like, boo, and she was cooing at him, and he's like, you know, and it was like, oh my gosh.
She's like, calm down, Mom, calm down.
Yeah, and she's
calm
like,
down, be easy.
Yes, it was like, whoa. And okay, you know what? It could have been, I mean, that just sounds too weird, right? To be.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, now, did you ever, before all this started, did you ever in your wildest dreams think that you would be communicating with Bigfoot and they'd be communicating back with you?
No. I've always been like, had a little bit of an obsession with them since I was a little girl, and my dad introduced me to them because I think he kind of did. But I remember like watching this one special with my son, because my son was, you know, I kind of passed that obsession, not as much as me, but and this man was saying on this special, like, oh, that they come from like some, he named some planet, you know, like Mercury or something. And my son and I like just laughed our heads off, like, what, this is so ridiculous what this guy's saying. And like, oh, that there could be, you know, aliens, and they're not, you know, like, because I literally just thought that they were big apes, you know, Gigantopithecus, like leftover, I don't know, remnants, but I absolutely don't believe that anymore. No way. No.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's just amazing, and almost, I don't want to say funny as in haha funny, but it's just funny how you just, I'm going to go out and talk to him tonight and tell him to leave my dogs alone.
Part of life. I mean, it is
part of life now. I mean, this,
I sound like a lunatic, but I mean, and I admit that.
Yeah. You know, but the funny thing is, we don't think you're a lunatic. I mean,
I mean,
we would too. I mean, and I'm the one sitting here thinking, record it, Barb, record it. I want to see this.
Oh, I will. I'll record it, because actually, like, if I go on my side view camera I'll you can see, I can record myself, whatever. But yeah, I definitely will. But you know, awesome. A lot of this is like, people have been through this, and this is what they told me, you know, to do, because there's a lot of, you know, I'm not not the first. There's so many people, and a friend of mine said, because I was talking about it either on a show or I was telling her, and she's like, that's them. They're bugging your poor dog. Like, you need to tell them to stop. And so, got to get back out there again, because the boys are naughty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're back there going, watch this, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Barb, this has been fun. I love talking to you about this stuff, and you guys go over and look at her YouTube page. She's got some fantastic stuff, and I mean, we just showed two clips, and the other stuff is a lot better.
Please ask me questions or make comments, like, in the comment section. I don't get offended. I get like, some of them are like, oh boy, like
Mhm.
this one guy was like, oh, looks like you and your friends got together and had a good time making this. I'm like, oh brother, yeah, okay, right. But like seriously, like if you have suggestions, comments, whatever, if there's something you can, because I don't know, I don't know for sure. About I definitely believe, and I know that some of this is Sasquatch, but like with that one that you played, Paul, no idea what that is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that paranormal? Potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
it's
a lot of
crazy.
times when you put something out of your own, you might not hear it. Somebody sitting at home with a different kind of headset on, they'll hear something that's maybe you won't, and they could pick up on that. So
there was a guy that had sent a message to me about the one, that one with that sound paranormal, and he had a whole bunch of phrases that he said, this is what I'm hearing. And he said, does any of this mean anything to you? And I'm like, no, unfortunately it doesn't. Like, it's cool stuff, but it doesn't. And it almost, from what he was able to gather, it just seemed like maybe there were either spirits like actively, living here, or was it residual conversations? Cause it was like, like it's in I left it in the tent, or something just random. Like I have to go get us water or something, So I don't know. Yeah. But that was pretty cool. And then there was also another that had said that he is fluent in, it's a local, like a Salish, indigenous language. And there was another one of mine. He said, oh, here's what they're saying. He said, I'm pretty sure this is what they're saying. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I'd like to, could you listen to all of it and please translate?
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Well, tell your clan that we said hi.
All right, I will.
Do a little dance for me.
Yeah.
Play some good music.
Okay, I will.
And let us know again what kind of music they really like.
Okay.
Yeah. See if you get a reaction to something.
Okay. I'll let you know. Well, I know they like they like Poker Face and Yellow and Heart-Shaped Box. But I don't know about the others. Yeah.
We learn something new every day. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for watching this. I want a quick thank you to Kimber for being a member for 2 months. Sinfully Wicked for being a member for 3 months, and for gifting 5 new members. Appreciate that, Sinfully.
Awesome.
Thank you, Kelly, for the $10. Appreciate you very much. Thank you, Denise, for being a member for 3 months. This is the most I've had to thank on the show, so I really appreciate everybody here. Denise, thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. Scott for gifting 5. Appreciate that. T-Bone for gifting 5. Thank you so much. For being a member for 3 months. Thank you, T-Bone. And Jared for gifting 1 membership. So thank you guys very much. And thank you guys for watching. That means a lot to me as well. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Brandy, for filling in for Krista.
Absolutely.
You,
I have a
Barb,
good time with Barb every time.
Having me. Oh yeah, we do.
It was fun.
Thank you.
All right, guys. We will see you. I'll see you Monday night with Zanzibar. We'll be back again this Monday. So, guys, have a great rest of your weekend, and we will talk at you later.
Good night, everybody.
Maybe.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.